Good day, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the myITforum podcast. I'm your host, Rod Trent, and I'm thrilled to be here kicking off what I know will be an exciting series of conversations. Okay, so before we dive into the heart of what this show is all about, let's just kind of take a quick trip down memory lane with a brief history of myITforum itself. So it all began back in the 1990s when Rod Trent, that's me, was working as an IT admin at one of the big five accounting firms. I don't think they're big five anymore. I think they're lesser number, but who knows? We were using Microsoft Systems Management Server at the time, or SMS 1.x, to handle IT support for nearly 500 people in a single office with just a skeleton crew, thanks to layoffs and tough economic times. Okay, so IT folks were often seen more as support staff than the pros we are today. Imagine that. I remember at one juncture in my career early on, getting flowers for Secretary Day as an IT pro, right? I started posting online tips about SMS, workarounds, and tricks on a site called swynk.com, SWYNK.com. Anyone remember that? Raise your hand, make a comment, make a note. Those tips were around how to make SMS work better. And it actually turned out a lot of other admins were in the exact same boat. Those that can remember SMS at the time, it was almost like someone put it together over a weekend, some kind of personal project, and then put it out there. The first iterations were horrible, right? And documentation at the time was almost non-existent. So with limited resources, think AOL dial-up era and single Netscape internet browser across the board, those shares that I gave became a lifeline for many, okay? So this led to my first entry into the Microsoft MVP world with an award, which was one of the very first non-Microsoft MVP awards. Some might remember, but many today never knew that the MVP award was actually originally an internal Microsoft thing, all right? By 2001, this grassroots effort officially became what was to become known as myITforum.com, which was branded as the go-to hub for SMS support. Just that. As Microsoft expanded into the full System Center suite, including monitoring tools from acquisitions like NetIQ, remember that? myITforum grew right along with it. Some of our first involvement, some of our first partners, organizations like Quest, NetIQ, 1E, all right? We evolved into the largest community for systems management pros, covering everything from mobile devices to servers and workstations, so not just SMS anymore. So whether you were using Microsoft tools, scripts, or tools from competitors like Altiris, we were your go-to central hub for all of that. So at its peak, myITforum at the time, and this is early days of the internet, had over 150,000 daily members, right? Fostering innovation, collaboration, and even helping launch the Microsoft Management Summit, which was a community-driven conference that Microsoft later took over. The site was ahead of its time with web-based forums, articles, and newsletters, keeping everyone up to date on trends like cloud computing, which was later on, and then hybrid solutions, right? So after a few years offline, myITforum is making a comeback, revived through a dedicated LinkedIn group, the Substack newsletter, this site, this podcast, and plans for more engagement like virtual events and member contributions. It's all about keeping that spirit of shared knowledge alive in today's fast-paced IT world. Now let's talk about what this podcast is really going to be. All right. The myITforum podcast is designed for those laid-back, fireside-style chats with our community members, new faces just joining the fold, and longtime veterans who've been with us since the dial-up days. All right, so we'll sit down with IT pros from all walks, hearing about what they're tackling right now in their careers. Maybe it's wrangling the latest in cloud migrations, beefing up cybersecurity defenses, or integrating AI, there's that word, AI, into systems management workflows. So whatever's on the cutting edge, we're going to explore it in a relaxed, no pressure vibe. All right. But we won't stop at the present. Oh no. We're going to combine the past with the present, where we'll also reminisce about those grandest memories of participating in myITforum, the largest IT community out there at the time. Think epic forum threads that solved impossible problems, late night debates on the SMS hacks, or the thrill of attending those early Microsoft management summits where ideas sparked real change. So those stories aren't just nostalgia, they're reminders of how far we've come and the bonds that make this community and any IT pro community so special. Plus, it's always great to catch up with longtime myITforumers. All right, those people you remember whose contributions maybe solved your greatest headache or vaulted your career into ways you couldn't imagine at the time. Hearing from their professional experiences will be rewarding and valuable, and may actually be the spark for a new pivot or solving something you thought you'd never solve. Or even just tying together memories about the good old days that you thought you had lost. But also, think about the experiences from the myITforum days to today and how everything has changed is going to bring a really nice, neat perspective. All right. I have found, and the reason why I wanted to do this, I found that discussing situations with my longtime friends, how each person's perspective of whatever event you were talking about puts that story kind of into its full shape, right? So one person saw it this way, one person saw it this way, another person saw it from a different angle, and you talk about it, and that memory becomes so vivid, and it's almost like you've never forgotten. So yeah, we are going to get nostalgic. Okay, so whether you're a sysadmin grinding through daily ops, a thought leader pushing boundaries, or even enthusiast dipping your toes into IT, this podcast is your spot to unwind, learn, and connect. Okay, expect genuine conversations, a few laughs, well, probably more than a few if I'm involved, but plenty of aha moments, okay? In future episodes, we'll bring on guests from the community. So if you're a myITforum member now or forever with a story to share, reach out via LinkedIn. You can reach me directly or our myITforum LinkedIn group, or here on Substack, or just comment in the podcast wherever you're listening to this podcast from, all right? We would love to have you talk about what you are doing and possibly some memories you have of the old Microsoft Management Summit and myITforum. Okay? Thanks for tuning into this intro episode. Hit that subscribe button, join the conversation online, and we'll see you next time on the myITforum podcast.